Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, that's it, just relax those eyelids and feel that any tension or stress is leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. Breathing in that feeling of relaxation, exhaling tension, and just start to scan your body and notice the location of any feelings of stress or tension. Could be in your shoulders, your neck, could be in your jaw, forehead. But as you breathe in and breathe out, just accept the idea that that tension is starting to melt away, enabling you to feel deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a big desk, a comfortable chair. And I want you to imagine there is a executive toy on that desk. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine Newton's cradle. Maybe there's 5, maybe 7 balls, shiny, perhaps chrome or steel, suspended. And I want you to imagine perhaps you're picking up 2, maybe 3, feeling the weight of them, and as you let them go, just see the equivalent number on the other side rise and fall. And just imagine hearing the clicking sensation as the balls rise and fall, as your eyes follow left to right. But I want you to imagine here, just in your imagination, there's no energy loss. There's no slowing down of those ball bearings on one side to the other. Just imagine they maintain their speed, their height, the sound, the rhythm, as you just see them clicking from left to right, left to right. And I want you to start to synchronize your breathing. Maybe a breath is 2 or 3 of the balls returning from left to right. And maybe you can imagine seeing your reflection, perhaps in the center balls that don't move. Just breathe in and breathe out as you focus on yourself in the reflection. And I want you to imagine going into that reflection, almost going into your mind. And I want you to go back to a memory, a specific memory where you saw a maze. Maybe this maze was a life-size maze made of hedges or trees. Maybe this was a maze that was made of bricks or wood. Or perhaps this was a maze that was a puzzle, and you had to navigate a marble or a ball from one side to the other side of the maze. And when you've located a memory like that, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to make that maze 100 times bigger, full of random twists and turns. And I want you to place yourself into the maze, now imagining that you're there, in a maze that you have no idea. You have no map, you have no idea of the navigation, the architecture of this maze. But I want you to imagine you're at a place in the maze in your past where there was a giant source of cheese. This cheese can represent anything you want it to be. The cheese can represent money, status, stimulation, learning, significance, enthusiasm, commitment. All I want you to do is accept that there was a time where this maze had a source of all the things that you craved most. And I want you to go back to that time of enjoying that status, enjoying that pressure, enjoying the challenge, the doing whatever it took mentality. But you got the benefit of that. Feel how good it felt to just know that you were being rewarded and stimulated and recognized. And I want you to imagine day after day you return to that place in the maze. And the cheese is there, just as big as it was the day before. And then I want you to imagine a different time in your past, perhaps a different location in the maze. The cheese was still there, but you had to do less to get that cheese. Maybe there was less competition. Maybe the standards were lower. There's a different part of the maze, but still with what you need. It's just you had to do less to get it. And imagine, for a while that met your needs. And I want you to imagine you're now in the present. And both of those previous stashes of cheese are completely gone. They were of their time, of their place. They don't exist anymore. And I want you to imagine that you're now in a different location in the maze, where perhaps there's sufficient cheese to last several weeks, but it's dwindling each day. And I want you to get not a sense of scarcity, not a sense of anxiety, but a sense of excitement that the dwindling cheese means a new adventure awaits. Because this maze is huge, and you've explored perhaps 1 or 2% of this ginormous maze. And the one thing you know to be the case is that the locations of the cheese in the past would be empty, and the location of the cheese where you currently have cheese only has weeks left remaining. If you were to stay in this location, keep coming back day after day, you'd be fine for the next few weeks. But a day would come where the cheese is no longer there. And at that point, you would have to go to that same location, not getting whatever the cheese was giving you in the past. And therefore, the status quo has changed. And I want you to scan your body for where your sense of adventure exists within you. There's been many times in your life you did something that you didn't have everything ready for. It involved risk. You were willing to make big life changes, but there was no overwhelming sense of excitement and opportunity. So as you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to unlock that sense of adventure, that optimistic risk taker within you, the part of you that loves a challenge, the part of you that is willing to do something new. Because I want you to get an idea that there are 2 specific types of cheese in this maze. That is the cheese that you're looking for. There is the cheese that you're looking for the next 5 years. And it only has to last 5 years. Because the cheese beyond that represents your ideal retirement with the level of lifestyle that you desire. And you could go straight to retirement, but it would mean smaller cheese, and therefore not quite the lifestyle you would have if you were to return to the same cheese 5 years later. And I'm wondering if you're willing to go on a quest full of dead ends, false hope, doors that you think will open that will remain shut, doors that are shut right now but could open in the future. And if you're willing to leave this cheese and to go on that quest, that adventure, to explore the maze that you haven't seen yet, just let me know by nodding your head. So I want you to imagine perhaps you've got a small rucksack. Put whatever remaining cheese is in front of you, put it in the rucksack, take it with you. And be willing to explore the maze. But you're doing this strategically. The only wrong turns that are a problem are the ones you don't make a note of. There are mice that would run around this maze frantically, desperately, and perhaps end up in the same dead ends again and again and again. But I want you to imagine that you're on a quest, an adventure, where you're mapping the maze. You know everything from the past, you know your present, and just imagine you have a notebook, and every time you go down a dead end or a wrong turn, just imagine mapping that out in your notepad. And through that lens, through that way of thinking, there is even an advantage to the wrong turn. Because every dead end means that you don't have to invest any time or resources to explore the part that you've already explored and establish that there is not the right cheese for you. And by knowing that, it encourages you to take bold, confident risks, to go to the very parts of the maze you've never been before, to go in conditions you haven't seen before. Perhaps there are mice that only navigate the maze in daylight. But I want you to imagine you have a torch, a flashlight there in that bag with you. You're willing to explore the maze at nighttime. You're willing to explore the maze when there's noises and sounds that are unfamiliar. As you have this incredible feeling that courage is unlocking. Because what is an adventure without any risks? What is a quest if you already know the terrain? I want you to accept the idea that it is the fact that you have the roller coaster of uncertainty that makes this an adventure. No one ever described a certain predictable path as an adventure. It's the uncertainty, the unpredictability, the lack of knowledge of what turn will lead to unexpected sources of treasure or cheese that makes this a quest and an adventure worth pursuing. And throughout this journey in the maze, I want you to imagine that you find perhaps smaller amounts of cheese. And you can almost treat this like a daytime game show. Do you take the small amount of cheese, Or are you willing to leave it to explore something bigger and more significant? And I want you to set your standards at a certain level, that you know in advance that anything below a certain amount, and again that could represent income, status, seniority, opportunity, location, anything below a certain amount isn't sufficient enough to take you from what would already be a possible retirement. The onus is on the size and the scale of the cheese to tempt you away from an already appealing option. I want you to consider this discernment, game theory. Consider activating the very parts of your mind that feel that on this game show, in this elaborate maze, you already have sufficient amounts in the bank that mean you don't have to take wild risks. If something's appealing, viable, valuable, stimulating and interesting for you, then it makes sense. It makes sense to temporarily leave what you have to return later with even more. I want you to get a sense that not everyone deals with the maze in the same way. There are many people that when an opportunity ends, play the victim. They just complain that the cheese isn't there. But as you step into the realm of new possibilities, you embrace change as an exciting adventure. And you understand that change is an opportunity to discover new paths and embrace fresh experiences. As you navigate around the maze, there are no wasted lessons. You either win or you learn. And you recognize that clinging to the familiar can limit your potential. You open yourself to exploring new avenues and venturing outside your comfort zone, knowing that growth and opportunity await there. I want you to embody the spirit of action-taking, tenacity, and resilience. You're able to trust your instincts, take swift action in the face of change. You approach this quest with determination, eagerly seeking new opportunities and adapting quickly to changes in the market and the business landscape. This maze is not a static maze. Every now and then you can hear what sound like giant cogs turning. Almost like this maze is moving in real time. Which means sometimes you have to update the notes that you've taken. What was a closed door and a dead end before may not always be that way. You can adapt to the evolving landscape, to the shifting maze. You remain flexible and open-minded, willing to learn new skills and embrace unexpected opportunities that come your way. Your past experiences and skills are like pieces of cheese that you've accumulated over time. You confidently carry these with you as you navigate the maze of your search, your quest, knowing that they are valuable assets that contribute to your success. And just as you are searching for the cheese, you are the cheese in someone else's quest. Your reputation, your accomplishments, your skill set, your knowledge base, hugely desirable to the particular company or person that seeks out exactly what you possess. The fear of change holds no power over you. Instead, you face it head-on with courage and curiosity, knowing that every new corner of the maze holds potential for growth and progress in your journey. And you can release any resistance to change, realizing that change is the driving force behind innovation and personal development. Change is not an obstacle, just a stepping stone to greater opportunities. You propel yourself forward in your journey. You persistently explore those opportunities, perhaps networking, applying for positions, working with headhunters. And you do this with positivity and enthusiasm, knowing that your mindset can make all the difference in seizing the right opportunity for you. You acknowledge that change is a constant, omnipresent entity, and you embrace it as a natural part of life. With this mindset, not only do you not mind change, you actively seek out change, viewing it as a catalyst for growth, development, and as the ideal stepping stone for this 5-year transition into your retirement. And I want you to imagine this quest in the maze. You find something that seems like it could be the right opportunity. And I want your mind to convert this giant pile of cheese into what that would look like for you. What kind of firm would it be? What kind of responsibilities? What kind of income? What kind of benefits? What kind of autonomy? Does it give you the ability to build a client base, solidify your reputation? Allow the images to flow quickly and fast into your mind, being willing to keep on searching if this doesn't meet the criteria, and if it does, to enthusiastically grab hold of this opportunity with both hands, knowing that this doesn't have to be an opportunity forever. Just 5 or so years as that vital stepping stone into an even bigger piece of cheese in the maze. The difference is that you already know the location of the cheese in the maze 5 years from now. Maybe it's a home, a family, a lifestyle. So all you're looking for is this stepping stone cheese to enable you to get to that final stage in a way that meets your needs and gives you the level of lifestyle you desire. And if your unconscious mind feels that you've discovered what it would take for it to be the right cheese for you in this ever-changing, ever-growing maze, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to feel that you are unlocking unlimited resilience, positivity, but most importantly, adaptability, the ability to change, to be determined but in a tenacious way, to learn new things, to change things, to evolve. And in doing so, the maze is not intimidating for you. It may intimidate others, But for you, this is a playground for you to seek out the right opportunities for this next chapter in your life. And then just imagine you're thinking of that memory of perhaps a maze that you experienced in the past. And then imagine that memory is just a thought while staring into a Newton's Cradle executive toy. And then feel like even the executive toy, the desk, the chair, all of it are just figments of your imagination, designed to create an enthusiasm and adaptability in a new quest on your horizon. Just thoughts within thoughts, ideas within ideas, dreams within dreams, as you now fully return to the present, as you take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, fully accessing the present moment, as very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, motivated, enthusiastic, eager to embark on a wonderful quest and adventure to find not just any cheese, but the very cheese you've been seeking. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.